The bond between K-pop idols and their fans is meant to be one of mutual admiration and support, a connection that creates beautiful, unforgettable moments. But what happens when that trust is shattered? In some deeply unsettling cases, idols have taken a completely different path, betraying the very people who lifted them up and allegedly scamming them out of their money and their faith. One of the most infamous examples is Kang a member of the legendary first-generation boy group Sechs. His story isn't a single misstep but a troubling pattern of behavior that spanned years. Long before his more public scandals, he was already facing serious accusations. In 2013, his clean idol image was tarnished when he was sentenced to prison time, later reduced to probation for defrauding several acquaintances. It was a shocking blow, but for his dedicated fans, it was perhaps something they could move past. Unfortunately, it was only the beginning. The situation escalated dramatically in 2018. Kang was set to hold a fan meeting in Taiwan, an event organized with his official fan club, Honey World. Fans were ecstatic, buying expensive tickets and making travel plans. Then out of nowhere, the event was abruptly cancelled. The real chaos began when fans discovered they weren't getting their money back. An ugly public battle erupted. Kang pointed fingers at the Taiwanese organizers, accusing them of deception and mismanagement. The organizers fired back, creating a messy he said, she said conflict. All the while, heartbroken fans were left in the lurch, their money gone and their trust broken. Many began to suspect the worst, that Kang and his fan club leaders had orchestrated the entire thing to pocket the ticket sales. As if that wasn't enough, just a few weeks later, another storm hit. Around 70 fans came forward with a formal complaint accusing Kang and Honey World of embezzling funds from a video screening event held the previous year. The profits from that event, amounting to nearly $88,000, were supposed to be a donation to charity. Instead, the accusers claimed the money vanished into the pockets of the idol and his staff. Both cases ended up in court. While Kang was cleared of the embezzlement charges due to a lack of concrete evidence and won the case regarding the fan meeting, the damage was irreversible. The court of public opinion had made its decision. The endless controversies and the loss of public trust led him to officially depart from Sechs in 2019, leaving a permanent stain on his legacy. While a seasoned idol falling from grace is shocking, sometimes even trainees on the cusp of fame have been caught in deceptive acts. Take the strange case of Choku, a former contestant on Producer 101 Season 2, also known as Peter. His controversy wasn't about stealing money directly, but about stealing an entire identity. He recently reappeared on a TV show dressed as G-Dragon, sporting an almost identical outfit and the same iconic hairstyle. It was uncanny and it immediately raised eyebrows. Netizens, known for their impressive digital detective skills, quickly dug up a history of this behavior. It turned out that Choku had been seemingly impersonating the global superstar for over a decade. This wasn't just a case of having a similar style. Choku was documented on numerous occasions playing the part in public. When crowds on the street would mistake him for G-Dragon and swarm him, he wouldn't correct them. Instead, he would lean into the charade, copying G-Dragon's distinct mannerisms and poses, letting them believe they were meeting the real deal. It went even further. He was caught signing posters with G-Dragon's name and even held events in China under the stage name Zagon, a clear play on his idol's name, effectively scamming fans who thought they were seeing their hero. Bizarrely, whenever confronted, Choku would deny everything, even claiming he hated being compared to the bigbang leader. His denials fell on deaf ears as countless fans and netizens continue to call for him to stop, with many urging G-Dragon's agency to take legal action to end the decade-long impersonation. Sometimes the scandals are far more personal and messy, blurring the lines between a private affair and outright fraud. This was the situation with Hyeme, a former member of the group Black Swan. In November 2020, news broke that she was being sued for fraud by a man who claimed she had swindled him out of approximately $45,000. According to the man, an ordinary office worker, their story began with a simple Instagram DM in late 2018 when Hyeme was still in her previous group Rania. Their online chat soon led to meeting in person, and he alleged that she began asking for financial help in April 2019. It started with requests for rent money and living expenses, things he was willing to help with. She promised to pay it all back once she found success. However, the requests allegedly grew more frequent and substantial. He claimed he sent her money to help her mother, and when he could no longer keep up with her demands for cash, he even gave her a credit card to use. He insisted their relationship was not physical and that he was lending her money with the understanding that she was a celebrity who couldn't possibly run away from her debts. But things took a turn. He claimed Hyeme's behavior became more erratic and her demands more insistent, especially when she was drinking. Eventually, she allegedly changed her phone number, ghosted him completely, and never paid back a cent. When the story broke, Hyeme's agency, DR Music, fired back, filing a countersuit and vehemently denying the allegations. But just when the story couldn't get any messier, it was revealed that Hyeme had secretly married a different man in June 2020. While this this was all unfolding and was already in the process of getting a divorce. The agency claimed to have no knowledge of her marriage. The scandal forced Hyeme to leave Black Swan and retire from the entertainment industry. She disappeared from public life, though she remains active on social media, leaving the world to wonder about the truth and whether the fraud case was ever truly resolved. Perhaps one of the most tragic and convoluted sagas of recent years involves Areum, a former member of the iconic group t-ara. She joined the group in 2012 at the height of its popularity but left abruptly only a year later. For years, her departure was a mystery until a former staff member claimed Areum had been bullied by her fellow members. This narrative earned her immense sympathy, and fans were overjoyed for her when she announced her marriage to a non-celebrity businessman in 2019. It seemed like she had finally found the stable, happy life she deserved. She soon had 2 children, but the picture-perfect family image shattered when she revealed her marriage was collapsing in 2022. In late 2023, things took a dark turn. Areum announced her divorce was finalized and that she was already engaged to a new man, Seo Dong-hoon. Almost immediately, an anonymous netizen came forward with a horrifying claim. Seo Dong-hoon was a convicted felon who had recently been released from prison for fraud and sexual assault. Areum fiercely defended him, claiming he was the victim of a smear campaign and that he had attempted to take his own life due to the stress. The situation spiraled further. In March 2024, Areum accused her ex-husband of horrific child abuse, while also claiming someone was impersonating her online to extort money from her friends and fans. Just days later, she was hospitalized after an apparent attempt to take her own life. It was then that the news outlet Dispatch dropped a bombshell report. They confirmed Seo Dong-hoon's criminal record and exposed what the couple had allegedly been doing. Over the past few months, Areum and her fiancé had reportedly been sending desperate messages to her fans, asking for money for her children's medical bills and their own living expenses. Using photos of themselves in the hospital to elicit sympathy, they collected over $32,000 from trusting fans. Later reports alleged that the money wasn't for medical bills at all but was used to fund the couple's online sports betting addiction. Leaked text messages seem to confirm this, showing conversations where they discussed using the fan-donated money for gambling. Areum initially denied everything, then claimed her fiancé had forced her into it, beat her, and endangered her children. But the legal consequences were unavoidable. Areum was eventually prosecuted on multiple charges, including child neglect and fraud. The fallout was devastating, resulting in suspended prison sentences for defrauding her fans and for child mistreatment. In a related case, even her mother received a suspended sentence for abducting a minor. Areum's journey from a beloved idol to a figure embroiled in such disturbing scandals has been a shocking and heartbreaking spectacle, a cautionary tale of how a star's light can be completely extinguished by a series of devastating choices.